Hello from the Singapore Airlines lounge at the International Airport. Today I'm going to be flying Turkish Airlines economy class from Delhi to Istanbul, and in the next video you're going to see Turkish Airlines economy class from Istanbul to Munich. It's going to be showcasing the new Turkish Airlines lounges and the new Istanbul airport. I gained access to this lounge even though I'm flying in economy through my Star Alliance Gold status with United, which I got through a status match program when Jetway was collapsing by leveraging my Jetway Gold status to gain some benefit out of it for this summer flying. Let's have a look, shall we? The lounge has a lot of nice seating options and is a lot brighter and airier than most of Delhi's lounges, which tend to be quite dingy. There's a dining area located near the buffet, which would be an awkward place to sit when the lounge is busy and there are people walking around. The buffet has quite a few nice Indian vegetarian breakfast options like methi parantha with chole and sambar with idli. There's also a section with some cold cuts, fresh cut fruit and yogurt. There are self-service alcoholic drinks available for those above the age of 25, next to which you will find a heating cabinet filled with baked and fried snacks. Alongside that, there are the self-service TWG tea bags, which were quite lovely. I did help myself to one of those later. And a coffee machine, which is not self-service, you must ask an attendant for coffee. Alongside that, there's the refrigerator with cold drinks and water. And along on the next counter, we've got some cold sandwiches and chips. And this is also where you'll find the next section of the breakfast buffet, where we have some baked beans and hash browns. Alongside the baked beans and hash browns, there is some chicken sausages and omelets, which didn't look that great but were quite nice. Finally, there's a section with some baked goods for breakfast, along with milk, cereal, and a toaster. Here's a quick look at some stuff I got for breakfast. I really liked this Mother Dairy yogurt, which I enjoyed while I watched the sunrise through the skylight, indicating it was time for boarding. I really like these economy class seats. Turkish Airlines has much wider seats than most airlines on their 777 aircraft, as they opt for a 333 configuration, unlike a lot of airlines, which I will not name, but you know who you are. They have a good amount of legroom as well, but don't have a footrest, which was a bit disappointing but not really a big deal. There's also an adjustable headrest with foldable wings, which create a sort of cradle for one's head, which allows for a much more comfortable resting experience. There is a sturdy two-piece tray table, something I quite like, as you don't have to open the entire table just to keep your phone or a drink. Inside the seat pocket in front of you will find the safety instructions card, a Turkish Airlines in-flight shopping magazine in which you can purchase things using both money and your Turkish Airlines miles. And finally, we find the Turkish Airlines Skylife in-flight magazine. Soon after takeoff, the flight attendants distributed amenity kits, a very rare sight in economy class. It contained an eye mask, a pair of Turkish Airlines slippers, and a pair of socks. There was even a little container of lip balm, something very nice for such a long flight where one can get quite dry. A pair of earplugs and a dental kit, which is also something I appreciate on such a long flight. Clean and soft pillows and blankets were also distributed after takeoff. There are no personal air nozzles and the cabins are kept quite warm, so it may be advisable to bring a personal USB fan with you. As this is a morning flight, breakfast was served. There was a choice of juice or tea. As you can see, I chose juice. Unlike most airlines, Turkish provides real metal cutlery even in economy. Breakfast comes with a Turkish staple, olives, cheese and some cucumber. The non-vegetarian option comes with a Turkish egg and cheese pastry, a ham and cheese sandwich served alongside spinach and tomatoes. Other than that, there was also berry yogurt, which was inedibly sour, and a bread roll served with butter and jam. Other than the horrible yogurt, the breakfast was very nice and much better than I had expected in economy class. Around the time this video was shot, India-Pakistan diplomatic relations were very bad. Pakistan had closed off its airspace to most flights, especially those that departed or landed in India. This meant that instead of flying directly over Pakistan over Iran into Turkey, which would have meant we would have had a 5.5-hour flight, we had to go south down till Gujarat and then make a westerly turn towards Iran, which meant another 2 hours got added onto our flight, so this became around 7.5 hours. Now it's time for a look at Turkish Airlines' entertainment system. They have a nice responsive touchscreen located on the back of the seat in front of you with a good selection of movies, TV programs, music and even live television. The TV series tend to have roughly half a season worth, which is better than on most airlines, though I would have preferred if you could have had full seasons of TV shows. There's a nice selection of Hollywood and even a few Bollywood movies available. Here we can have a look at BBC World News streaming live, part of their live TV streaming feature. The entertainment system even has some games which you can play with. Great thing to keep kids busy and for people like me to pass the time. The headset provided was very uncomfortable and I would have even preferred earbuds over these. In the end, I ended up using my own headphones. It wasn't long until descent preparations had been announced and bottles of water, juice and a small snack were passed around the cabin. I chose the vanilla and chocolate cake for my snack and it was quite nice, though I felt that given that this was over a 7-hour flight, it would have been good to have maybe a second meal, as the last meal we had eaten was quite an early breakfast and we were all landing well after lunchtime. Though we can hardly blame just the airline. The airspace closure which caused the increase of flight length was quite sudden and the level of service provided was definitely sufficient for what the original length of the flight was. And as you can see, we have begun our descent over Turkey, and this is a good opportunity for me to summarize my thoughts about the flight. I feel Turkish offers a compelling hard product in the long-haul travel market. They have great seats which are wider than the industry standard, and a solid entertainment system to back that. On top of this, the flight attendants were quite great, as even though this was a packed flight, they offered efficient and pleasant service. Finally, though the second meal was quite lackluster, it was definitely sufficient for what the original length of this flight was, and our first meal was excellent and far exceeded my expectations from this flight. Overall, I would definitely recommend anyone looking to fly long haul to choose Turkish.